Hello, and welcome to my TED Talk. I'm sure we all know who Batman is. After all, since its introduction in 1939, it's been a staple of cinema and has been able to sell some of the highest grossing comic books ever. But, as a bit of a spoiler, we won't be talking about Batman today. We'll be talking about One Piece. Now, the reason I want to talk about One Piece is I'm a really big fan of it, and I've been watching it / reading it since the 6th grade. And I haven't stopped, and I'm about to go into my senior year. Next off, I want to show why in the span of about 25 years, one author, one man, Oda, has been able to create a world that has kept audiences reading for so long now and has sold so much. The first key to his success is the world of One Piece. One Piece is set in its own fictional world, and as such, Oda has complete freedom in it. First, he makes the world very simple. He has 4 blues, a north, south, east, and west, and a horizontal stretch of ocean, which is called the Grand Line, and a vertical land continent, and the only large landmass called the Red Line. This is all very simple stuff. The naming convention is very easy to remember, and if you're a new reader, you won't be very scared or intimidated by this. Also, because of this simplicity, Oda has complete freedom, and every island, and One Piece is an ocean-bound world, so most of the land is just small islands, but all the islands are completely free to his control, and none of them feel the same. All are unique. They have their own twists, their own characters, their own races, their own species, their own fights, their own languages sometimes, and it makes it a very memorable reading experience. Also, Oda likes to take inspiration from the real life. For example, places like Water 7's based on Venice, Dressrosa is based on Spain and some of Italy with the Colosseum. Wano Kuni is very influenced by Shogun-era Japan, and there are many other examples. And this makes the reader feel connected, and while the world may be very outlandish and cartoony in some ways, it always has a realist sense to it. It can always connect to something. Next up, Oda has to fill the world with people, and Oda is real good at this. He has, even up to chapter 1100, he shows new characters, new abilities, new fruits. In the newest chapter, he introduced a new race of people entirely, and he has no limit to his creative control. This makes every character feel so unique and special, and his design for them are always unique and special as well. For example, a fan favorite is called Senor Pink. Senor Pink is an overweight man who dresses like a baby, which seems like a laughingstock at first, but Oda gives this man a character development arc, a growth, and he's a fan favorite because, I won't spoil it, because of how good and well his backstory is. This can apply to basically anyone in One Piece. When you get done with an arc, you can understand the Straw Hats' motivation, who are the main characters, the villains, the people, the culture, the reasons. You can see how everything has a reason to it, and there is cause and effect. Oda's an author who doesn't like to tell, he likes to show things. And by the end of it, you can see the chain of events that has caused characters to move. Next up, while I think Oda is an amazing world builder and character creator, I think his biggest strength is mystery, which seems a bit weird at first because One Piece is shown in action. So why am I talking about mysteries? I'm talking about mysteries because it's the reason One Piece has lasted so long. Things that were explained 20 years ago are just now coming into fruition. For example, there's a character called Red-Haired Shanks. So introduced in chapter 1, and we know basically nothing about him. In the current chapters, we're slightly getting hints to maybe his past, but he's a fan favorite. In all the polls, he's always in the top 5 because there's so much just allure to him, and it keeps readers wanting to know more and more. And there's so many mysteries, but I don't have time for that. So in conclusion on why One Piece is so great, Oda is a man who's made a world from scratch and has put simplicity to the outside of it while making a deep core and so much freedom and creativity and all the little details of it. And he's filled with such memorable and interesting characters that just suck in a reader, and you just can't wait to turn the next panel. And the mysteries and little details he puts in just keep sprinkle feeding the readers with more and more details, and just keeps them wanting to come more. And that's my TED Talk, and thank you for listening to it. And I hopefully suggest that you read